I'm sure a lot of you guys remember Greenie. So this is June 30th, 2016. And thanks to my man Stan at 6'3" on Instagram, Greenie now has a new old stock gold face Speedo. They were not white or silver, that's what underlays the gold. And we have a new old stock gold face Speedo for this machine installed. How pretty, how sexy is that? Now, unless I can find a new old stock or close to it nickel dash, and therefore nickel knob or green knob, because I'll never know which it was. This is as close to Greenie's dash tank area that I can get. So the gas caps were replaced by little stock stamp caps back in the day, probably by Wayne Pierce. Probably thought he did like a favor. But there's so much nickel in the exhaust covers are nickel. The battery cover is nickel. The tail light is nickel. The rear chain guard is nickel. The derby cover is nickel. The handlebars are nickel. You follow? The brake handle is nickel. The little knob here, I can't tell if that one is chrome or nickel. It could be either one. But this appears to be chrome here. But there's so much nickel. The shifter arm is nickel. It's not chrome. So much nickel on this bike. The only way I got there is by special order. Piece by piece by piece. I want this nickel. I want that chrome. I want this nickel. I want that chrome. It's the only way it happened. So I was lucky enough to come up with some cracked early Eaton short-nailed gas caps and beautiful original nickel, and put those on, and now we have this Speedo. Yay. So if I ever find a new old stock dash cover in nickel, then yes, that's where that's going to go. So one day this bike will run. I have too many other bikes ahead of it, and I don't want to mess this bike up. It's going to need a complete teardown. Can I get it to go boopity boopity boop? Yes, I can. There's a whole lot of 40s that have had the whole top half of the case pulled off by somebody doing exactly that. And I don't want to be that next guy. So I know how to do this shit right, and I don't have to ride it tomorrow. So one day, when the time is right, this bike will come down and become wow. So it'll probably look to the average person about like it does right now, but the dirt will be gone, the frozen bolts will be gone, everything will be tightened properly. Won't be half loose and half ready to fall apart. You know, there's going to be all kinds of little pieces that I can't tell. They're, just dangling, broken lock washers. That's just what I want to do, is lose nuts and bolts going down the road. Not the way to treat a motorcycle like this. So the time will come, and I can enjoy it like this. And so can everybody who watches the channel. So she's very pretty, just sitting here, just like that. For those who don't remember, the Vixen chair cleaner had been blasted, probably by Wayne Pierce. And I've sold that, and I've put this beautiful original one that somebody took the tag off, so I do need a tag. That'll come. So even the timing cover is nickel. The little floorboard extensions are nickel. The brake arm is nickel. So many little nickel pieces on this bike. So very cool. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Time will come. Not going to worry about it. Not going to rush it. A little piece here, a little piece there. So Yeah. This here is nickel. This is nickel. This release arm is nickel. That's all special order stuff, man. It's the only way it happened. So, until the next video, we'll see you guys soon. Hope you have a great 4th of July. I know I just did. Bye-bye.